Hey everybody, my name is Vincent and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're completely new. And as you can tell by the title of this video, this is gonna be a really exciting video again, because today I'm gonna introduce to you the two new figurines I made for the Schleich company. Because some of you may or may not know it already, but last year I sculpted the decorated unicorn mare for the Schleich company. And while a lot of people thought that it was my only figure that I sculpted as like some sort of a guest artist, I have a little surprise for you guys, because I'm actually working for the Schleich company as a freelancer, which means that I obviously don't have a lot of time while I'm at uni to sculpt for them. That means I'm not full-time working for them, which means that I'm sculpting like 1 to 2 figures for them each year, depending on like how much time I have, what figures they have and stuff like that. So it's like basically they come to me and like kind of commission me, if that makes sense, and then I can see and look if the time management fits and stuff like that. But I'm really excited that we could work again together and could realize 2 new figurines that came out this year in 2019. Okay, also a little side note, because I was actually quite surprised that a lot of people messaged me on Instagram asking me if I sculpted for the Schleich company any new figures for 2019, and also had some suggestions of the figures that I sculpted for the company. And I'm actually quite overwhelmed and surprised that a lot of people guessed already the 2 figurines that I sculpted for the company. I'm not quite sure, maybe I do have a specific style. I don't know why they knew immediately my figures, because obviously I have to apply the Schleich style to my sculpting style so the figurines fit their company and I'm not doing my own thing, you know what I mean? So I was quite overwhelmed and surprised. I'm also kind of happy actually that people recognized my work in the whole range of all the new figurines coming out. I did not reply to any of them because yeah, I wanted it to be kind of surprised. Yeah, this is kind of the revealing of the 2 figurines I made, and for everyone who knew already, good job. Okay, so and the 2 new figurines are these 2. First of all, we've got the mare, the riding tournament, I think that's what it's called in English, Springturnier, Stute, that's what it says in German. And then we have the moon unicorn stallion on the other hand, den Mondeinhorn Hengst in German. But I'm gonna get these out of the box and then we can take a closer look at them, and then yeah, I can tell a little bit about like the background story of how I made them and stuff like that. But yeah, these are the 2 and I'm super excited for them. So they again have been out since January 2019, so yeah, get yours now. Okay guys, so I'm gonna go through them in the order I actually sculpt them. Therefore I'm gonna start with the mare, because this is the second figurine that I sculpted for the Schleich company, and obviously the second time I finished a sculpture in wax, so that was quite exciting for me. It was also the first horse that I did, because again I did the unicorn as my first release, and then this is the second release that I did. When you get a new figure or they commission you, you get something called a concept board, and a concept board includes every detail of the figure, such as the name, the number, the release date, measurements, the reference picture, what it should look like, and stuff like that. So basically every single detail is written on that concept board to know exactly what they want, and for me as a sculptor to know exactly what I have to do. And when I first got the concept board, I loved the reference pictures and I was super excited to start working. And I'm actually really happy what the pose looked like at the end. To be honest though, this is definitely my favorite side of the figure, and I'm a little bit gutted that they used the other side in the box, because I feel like this side is so much prettier of the figurine, and I'm gonna tell you in a minute why I think this way. Really happy with how she turned out, because this is for me personally also the first time I see the figure in person in rubber, because I went to the Schleich company last year in summer and I saw all the new releases for 2019, and at this point they only had the mare in the prototype, which is made out of resin, so there wasn't the finished product just yet. So I'm really excited to now hold her in my hands as the finished product of what she looks like in stores. And yeah, I don't know, I'm just like really happy with what she turned out, and I'm actually really liking the color as well, because the color is noted on the concept board as well, and I was really happy that they chose a dappled gray, because I think it's matching the horse quite nicely, and I think the details in like a dark red, cherry red, I don't even know, I think with like the golden details like the S in the boots and stuff like that. I think it's just like really nicely done, and it also comes with this amazing blanket and the same color that matches the details of the horse. If my camera would focus on it, there you go. Yeah, she looks way better than I've imagined in the beginning, because when I first sculpted her, I had a lot of fun until I got to the details, because compared to the other unicorn where the details were sculpted actually by someone else, for this figure I sculpted everything by myself, all the little details, which is probably really hard to see on camera. But there are a lot of details on the boots and also on the front piece, on the head. I know a lot of people from the model horse community didn't really like that because they planned on customizing it, and meaning that they probably want to remove that. But I had a lot of fun sculpting it, and I think it's a great accessory to be on the horse rather than having something to put on the horse. But again, those details were so little, and I never imagined it to be so hard to sculpt. As well as wax is really fragile, so it breaks quite often while you sculpt. So the legs obviously are the thinnest part of the horse, therefore they usually break quite often while I sculpt. And then having to sculpt details on those legs, you can imagine how many times the legs broke while sculpting and how many times I was swearing. But all the swearing was worth it at the end, because I'm really happy about the final product. And one thing I just want to mention is this side of the horse, because obviously I got a reference for the horse, and the horse was in a jumping pose. It actually was like Olympic horse. That horse was about to jump a jump. Therefore this front leg was up in the air. But for Schleich figurines, because it's a toy company, all 4 legs have to be on the ground. In fact, Schleich has actually this quality that they, ask from themselves, basically, that a horse has to stand, or any kind of figure in general, has to stand on a 20-degree level at whatever pose, because this way they can secure that a figurine can stand on basically every surface, meaning sand, a flat surface, but also like a carpet or whatever, because therefore it secures that kids have fun while playing, and that they can play on any surface rather than having a figure that falls over the whole time, because we all know that doesn't make fun to play with a figure that keeps falling over. Therefore it was my challenge to bring this front leg down, to have a secure stand for the horse, but also have like a dynamic pose. So rather than extending the front leg and making it way too long, I chose to bring down the shoulder a little bit. So therefore the proportion of the whole horse is still the same, but this is like slightly moved down. This is why this side isn't necessarily my favorite side of the horse. This is why I absolutely adore this side. I mean, I think just like the face in general, I'm just really happy with how it turned out in rubber as well, because obviously I did a lot of detail in the wax figure, and you never know how much detail we're gonna be in the final product in rubber. But yeah, I'm just like really glad, and I think the color just suits the model perfectly, and I'm really glad that I could include all those details, all those muscles. I mean, it's a mare after all. It might be like a really strong mare, because after all, it's in a riding tournament, so you have to be strong and confident even as a mare. Really excited for my first horse in the horse club world. Okay, moving on to the Moon Unicorn Stallion, which is the 3rd figurine I sculpted for the Schleich company, and again, the 3rd figure I sculpted in wax. And I personally have to say, this is the figurine I enjoyed the most sculpting in wax so far. Maybe because I'm more used to sculpting in wax now. I don't know, again, when I got the concept board of what the unicorn should look like, by the way, I'm just going to include the amazing drawing that Eva Pospich made for referencing the unicorn, because obviously for a unicorn you can't really use any horse references. So the Schleich company has people that are drawing reference pictures of what the sculpture should look like at the end. And yeah, when I got the drawing, I was really happy with what it looked like, and I was quite excited to start working on her. And the mane and tail, which was always a struggle for me, because again, it's quite hard to make a wax block sculpt to something lifelike and fluid such as a mane and tail. But to be honest, I'm really proud of the mane and tail on this figurine. This is, I think, why this is out of the 2 my favorite that came out this year. Also because obviously it's a unicorn and I love unicorns, but that's another thing. I'm just gonna get a little closer so you can see all the details details of him, because I include a little bit of like an Arabian touch to him, but I think it suits the figure in general quite well. I just love the little blaze that they made, and I just love the idea of having a dark unicorn, because I think out of all the toy companies, this is the first company who actually made like a dark unicorn, and I love the purple undertone. It's quite drastic right now in the light of my camera, but it's quite subtle in real life, because it is quite dark in general. But I think it's just like absolutely lovely. And then having the sparkles on the legs and this nice fade from the silver and the sparkling, I don't know, I just enjoy really the colors that they have in their Bayala world. Yeah, I'm just like really happy with all the fantasy ideas they come up with. Really happy of all the details that I could include in the figure, such as the muscles, because this is the first stallion I did. So I knew I could maybe go more deeper into my drastic muscles that I really like to sculpt. But yeah, I think I tried to still have it a little bit subtle, not too much. And I'm also really happy with what the details look like in, again, the rubber material. And I don't know, I think it's just got like this really lovely look to it. In comparison to my mare, I think they actually work quite well, to be honest. It's like this play of like light and dark. I don't know, I think they complement each other quite nicely, even though, of course, each of them have their own family. She's obviously got a stallion in the foal, and he's obviously got a fitting mare and foal, but I think still they work together quite nicely, and it would be kind of cool to see maybe a mix of both of them, and having a foal, a unicorn foal that is half dark, half white, half, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I think it's actually quite funny, because out of the two families they did, the light family, the decorated family, and like the moon and star family that is darker, which both has like one part of the family is unicorn, one part of the family is Pegasus, and the foal is a mix of both. I'm actually quite, I don't know, happy, surprised, whatever, that I got to sculpt the unicorn part of both families. I don't know, I think as like a family out of unicorns, they would work quite nicely together as well. Even though he is a little bit short, which I realized while sculpting, so the last thing I actually did was make him a little taller. The thing about wax and the rubber material is that it shrinks ever so slightly. But yeah, I mean, there are like stallions out there that aren't tall. There are mares that are taller than stallions. So this is natural diversity, am I right? So I think they still work quite well, and he's working quite well in his own family as well. I really don't want this video to get too long, so I'm just gonna stop here. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you enjoy these figurines. Go get them in stores, go have a look in stores, and you can also get them online. Obviously, I will link everything in the description below. Again, I'm super grateful that I got this opportunity to work further with the Schleich company, and as always, it is a pleasure. Yeah, I'm beyond excited. I still can't really believe it when I walked into stores and saw my figurines sold in stores, stuff that I worked on, stuff that has been on my desk for weeks that I've been pouring my heart into. And I think it's amazing that through all this teamwork and this company, yeah, these amazing figures got developed and are now sold in stores, and hopefully bring a lot of joy to a lot of children around the world, and hopefully to you guys as well as collectors. So yeah, anyways, without further ado, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram to see any updates about any new figurines that might come out from me from Schleich. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you have a lovely day, and go get a copy of them now. Thank you, and bye.